How do I burn more body fat? Good morning if you're coming in. Give me a hello. If you're on replay, drop a replay. If you find this helpful today, like, share it. If someone needs to know this, if someone's on a keto diet or whatever, they need to know this or understand this, or maybe you skip breakfast, maybe you don't. You might need to know this. So, had a question last night after our leg session, our muscle strength session, and then our stomach core blast workout after that. And we talked about, the question was around, I'm a bit confused. What's the difference between burning fat and losing fat? Do I need to go into a keto diet? So let's describe these. So burning fat. So think of burning fat. We're now talking about the fuel we're using as energy because we're burning it. Okay. So we're burning the fuel. So let's consider ourselves as a car right now. Let's take a petrol car. If you put petrol in a petrol car, you're going to burn petrol as the energy. If you've got a diesel car, you put diesel in it, you're going to burn diesel as the energy. If you've got an electric car, you put electricity in it, it will use electricity as the energy. If you've got a hybrid and it's a little bit electric, but it takes a lot more mileage than petrol, then because there's more petrol in it, you're going to use more petrol as your fuel than you will electricity. And this is the key part. Thank goodness for hybrids to help explain this. If there's more petrol coming in than there is electricity, your body, the car, will use more petrol because it's more available. Similarly, if you're on a keto diet or a low carb, higher fat diet, because of the energy, there's more proportion of fat now, your body will go, oh, I'll just use that as energy. That is essentially burning more fat as fuel. Now, to lose body fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Energy in, energy out. Now, to do that, it doesn't really matter whether you go high fat, high carb, low fat. The key is your overall calories, aka the overall energy going in and energy going out. However, that doesn't mean that there's not benefits of burning more fat as fuel. Like there might be more benefits of going through certain times where you do have maybe a higher protein, a lower carbohydrate, which by default will probably mean slightly higher fat, which then may help with satiety, with more satiating effects. And that's one of the main benefits of a keto diet, like a higher fat diet, a higher protein diet, is that generally you're higher protein when you chase higher fat. And I don't mean being strict keto here, which is like, just for the record, like 80% fat, 15% protein and 5% carbs. That's very difficult to stick to for anyone. But if you just generally have a bit of a trend towards a lower carb diet, some people may find their satiety better. They might find their energy levels better. They might find that their hunger levels are a little bit better, which might help them stick to it. But not being rigid with that, that's being more flexible. So I'm not saying that burning fat is irrelevant here. It could be that, there's some research on metabolic flexibility, where people who get better at using fat as a substrate and also carbohydrate as a substrate could have knock-on effect in terms of performance, in terms of exercise, maybe even blood sugar control as well, and risk of diabetes, potentially a lower carb option in there. However, overall, the research shows whether you go low carb, high carb, it doesn't really matter. It's what you can stick to. That's the key question with this. So don't just chase burning fat. Like, I need to eat loads of fat, so I burn more fat. That's just like saying I need to put loads of petrol in my car because I'm going to then burn more petrol. At the end of the day, what you put in, if you put in a full tank of petrol, you've got a full tank of petrol. So it doesn't matter. If you put in lots of fat calories in your body, you're going to have a full calorie hit on that. So if you're, let's say to lose weight, you needed half a tank in there, and you put in a full tank of fat, if you like, aka you overate, then you're still going to use that as then storage of body fat. So your body will just use that and store it as body fat. And it just so happens that overeating on any calories will result in fat storage. So I hope that helps on there and sums up that in a little bit more detail. Let me know if you have any questions on that. And by the way, the other part of the question was, where does fat go when you lose it? Like, what happens to it? You wee it out, you sweat it out, you breathe it out. So you're just breathing. Can you stop breathing? You're fat on me. That's never come up in conversation before. But it's quite fascinating, isn't it, really? Like, it's just the byproducts of the fat being broken down, and then you breathe it out, you wee it out, it comes out in that way. You'll never look at your wee or sweat or breath the same again. Anyway, that's if you're in a calorie deficit though, not if you've just eaten loads of fat. Hope that helps. Take care. Speak soon.